You've got 300 people here, and look, we're not there. I saw them go through this action.
I don't know why they've done that, but we're quorate, so once we're connected, I'm going to make a start. Yeah, as soon as it comes up. Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this morning's Planning Committee. We're starting a little late today in order to allow members to observe the Armistice Day silence. My usual remarks at the start of the meeting. This is a quasi-judicial meeting and no decisions are made in advance. Members sit on this committee as representatives of the whole council rather than as ward councillors, and members do not enjoy parliamentary privilege for any remarks they make during the meeting. Turning now to the agenda, this meeting will be webcast for live or subsequent broadcast via the council's meeting YouTube site. The details are on the published agenda, but it's a string of numbers and letters, which I don't propose to read out because actually it would be quicker to search for Birmingham City Council meetings on YouTube. And members of the press and public may record and take photographs except where there are confidential or exempt items, of which I don't expect to have any today. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Members are reminded that they must declare all relevant pecuniary and non-pecuniary interests arising from any business to be discussed at this meeting. If a disclosable pecuniary interest is declared, a member must not speak or take part in that agenda item, and any declarations will be recorded in the minutes of the meeting. That's the standard declaration of interests paragraph that appears on all council meeting agendas. In addition, for planning committee, you may hear or see members leave the room for an item where they have previously expressed a view or held a view on a particular application. And again, that will be recorded in the minutes. Item 3 then is apologies. I have apologies from Councillor Azim, Councillor Booth, Councillor Donaldson, Councillor Griffiths, Councillor Johnson-White and Councillor Mike Ward. I think that's it. Did I get them all? Yeah. Thanks. Chair's announcements. Depressingly, the next 3 meetings does actually take us up to Christmas. So it's the 25th of November and I think the 9th and 23rd of December. Can you tell I've left my paper agenda at home? Sorry. I don't have any other announcements other than the dates of the next meetings. Minutes, we don't have the meeting minutes for the 28th of October, so we will take those at the next meeting. I understand they are still with planning officers, so they have been prepared but not agreed. So we are already on to planning applications, which we deal with on a geographical basis. And we don't have speakers on any items today, so I won't go through the procedure for that. So we're starting with the city centre, and item 6 is land at and bounded by Paradise Circus, Queensway and surroundings, including Chamberlain Square, Parade and Paradise Street. So, Nick, would you like to provide any updates on this item?
Yes, thank you, Chair. So there are a couple of things I'd just like to update and clarify. So firstly, the image on page 3, which shows a cross-section visual of the scheme as consented and as proposed. I thought it would just be helpful to clarify to members that this is an outline application that's working with parameters. These images show scenarios within those parameters. What that lower image shows is the reduction in the hotel height, but it doesn't show the raped or mansard style roof that is shown in the other images for 3 Chamberlain Square next to the town hall. And that's just to emphasise the fact that obviously we are seeking to approve amendments to the parameters, but of course a whole variety of building forms could take place within those parameters. Secondly, as set out in the report, we now have had further comments from transportation, and they consider that the signalisation of the new Paradise Street junction is necessary. This was captured through the 278 process and Hadley Road. And finally, the resolution at para 8.1, just to amend the word deferred to approve, whilst technically we wouldn't be making the decision here and now if the recommendation carries, because the deed of variation to tie the section 106 to this application needs to happen subsequently. I feel that approved probably better reflects the decision that we're asking you to make here today. Thank you, Chair.
Can I just ask, Nick, the photos at the end show a particular treatment rather than the white blocks that are shown within the report. What are the status of those photos?
So as it says underneath, they're the current reserve matters applications, and it's not before us to deal with the detail of those at this point in time. They're just showing, again, scenarios that could take place, but officers thought it would be helpful to bring those earlier just to show members what will be coming before them shortly. And of course, these parameter changes enable these reserve matters schemes to happen.
So the photos on page 20 and 21 are there to illustrate what might come forward as the reserved matters.
Yeah.
But that particular treatment is not part of what we're looking at today. Yeah. Thanks. Just wanted to be clear on that. So, any questions or comments? Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Chair. I don't particularly have an issue with the application. Happy to support it, but obviously just to be mindful, there are heritage implications for the proposed changes. I just think we need to bear in mind with the wider redevelopment of the Paradise site that there are a number of sensitive listed buildings within the area, such as the Town Hall, but also the Hall of Memory, which is particularly significant today.
Thank you. Nick, do you want to just confirm that will be taken into account?
Yeah, I think just to clarify where we fetched up with heritage on this one is Historic England have raised concerns around particularly the increase in scale of 3 Chamberlain. However, they fetched up that it's not necessarily the scale, it's more around the architectural treatment that they're concerned with, and that's exactly where our conservation officer fetched up as well. So when we come to determine the reserve matters, I think we obviously will get more into that, but that is the conclusion of the specialist advice on this. And where there is harm, we're concluding that it's not too dissimilar from where we were originally, and secondly, it's overcome by the public benefits of the scheme.
And that issue was obviously what drove my question as well. Does anyone else have any comments or questions? No? In that case, are you ready to vote on this one? Okay, can I see those in favour of the application? That's 8, which is unanimous, so that is approved. Switching over now to the northwest area. It's nice to actually have some movement between areas as our area planning managers change over. I've missed that when we've been online. So we're in the northwest with Pete, and the first application we're looking at is 431 and 433 Hadley Road. Do we have updates, Pete?
We have no updates, thank you, Chair.
Okay, straight into member contributions then. Any questions or comments? No? Okay, having studied the report, are you ready to vote on this one? Can I see those in favour of the report? And that is 8 again. That is unanimously approved. Thank you. And item 8 is the Uplands, Oxhill Road in Handsworth. Do we have updates on this one?
Again, Chair, we have no updates on this application. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone got a comment on this one? No? Having studied the report, are you ready to vote? Okay, those in favour? And again, that's 8, so that is unanimous approval. Thank you very much. That concludes the applications for today. Do we have any items of urgent business that won't wait until next time? Councillor Moore.
Thank you, Chair. Obviously, we discussed the changes around GDPR. I was just wondering as to when the officer reports will be updated to reflect those changes. Because I know that today has happened. I assume they were prepared prior to those changes, but I was wondering when that will take effect.
I was just going to say that Sean is off sick at the moment, and I'm sure he'll pick it up.
Yeah, it should be
as
picked
soon
up
as he's back.
into the next committee round.
Anyone else? No? Okay then, that takes us to item 10, which is the authority to chair and officers in an urgent situation between meetings to act on behalf of the committee. Can we agree that? Thank you very much. That's it for this morning. Thank you to our members of the public. I think you'll have known in advance it wasn't going to be a long meeting. I haven't even had time to look at Twitter to see what's being said. Do you need a comfort break before we have our informal discussion? Anyone?